Welcome to the Late Night Geek, the talk show style podcast where we talk about everything pop culture and geeky. Let's get started. So our episode today is a little different because I actually didn't have time to get guests for this episode for one main reason. And that was the fact that I was invited down to DreamWorks Studios for a private influencer screening of Kung Fu Panda 4. This was a really exciting opportunity. The event was hosted by Straw Hat Goofy at DreamWorks' own private theater, and I got a chance to see the movie before it came out in theaters. It was an honor and an exhilarating experience to be included amongst the creators that were there. There were people with millions of followers, and I'm sitting there with just my lowly 250,000, and I am very grateful to DreamWorks and Straw Hat Goofy for bringing me in and having me be a part of this awesome event. So I want to start this episode off with a quick review of Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, when the trailers first started dropping about Kung Fu Panda 4, a lot of people were thinking, why do we need this movie? A trilogy is so nice and neat. Is this just another cash grab? But after actually watching the film, I could tell that just as much love and care was put into this project as the previous 3 films. Now, it's not the best Kung Fu Panda movie, but it's definitely not the worst. And the worst Kung Fu Panda movie is kind of a hard thing to pick because all 4 movies are so good. For me, this is my second favorite. The third is my favorite all-time Kung Fu Panda movie, but this one is a very close second. Jack Black, as always, is fantastic as Po. You can tell he's having a lot of fun with the role, that he has a deep love for this character, and it shows in his performance. 2 new additions to the cast are Awkwafina and Viola Davis. Both of them knocked it out of the park. I am a sucker for Awkwafina. If she's in a project, I want to go see it. Her character of Zhen was funny, witty, and heartfelt. This 4th film is a fantastic way to wrap up Poe's story. I know we are so used to trilogies. The rule of 3s is everywhere, but this set of films works really well as a quadrilogy. We have seen Poe grow from a humble noodle vendor with dreams of adventure to a full-fledged dragon warrior who is now at the end of his dragon warrior career looking for his successor. The themes of change, growth, and redemption are so strong in this movie and well laid out, even to the fact that the villain is a freaking chameleon, a symbol of change. And Poe not only had to fight this villain that is a symbol of change, but also his own fear of change and becoming the new spiritual leader of the valley and finding someone to take over the role of Dragon Warrior. I don't want to get too much into spoilers with this review because I really want you to go see this movie. It's out already in theaters. It's fantastic. Go check it out. But the new Dragon Warrior that he chooses is very reflective of his own journey, but also very new and fresh. So check out Kung Fu Panda 4 in theaters now, and thank you DreamWorks and Straw Hat Goofy for letting me be a part of this amazing event. Families over in the UK were shocked when they purchased tickets to an immersive Willy Wonka experience and found out that it was just an empty warehouse with a couple poorly dressed actors and a smattering of dollar store looking decorations. This Willy Wonka experience was just odd in general. It included an Oompa Loompa meth lab and what I can only guess is the literal personification of death. I don't know what the organizers of this event were thinking. I don't know if it was just a scam or if something went wrong in the planning, but the pictures that they show in the ads, which were clearly created with AI, do not match the experience that people got, especially with the high price point of the tickets. It was so bad the police got involved and began investigating as if there was some sort of criminal act afoot. And the way that they ripped off the patrons, I think that this is probably going to break a few laws. Honestly, this experience looked so creepy. It actually looks more creepy than Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. Last week, a theme park in Sweden exploded. And the weird part about this is that it was a water park. You know, I don't know what caused a water slide to explode, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't water being pumped through the pipes. Hey guys, the water line got shut off. We forgot to pay the bill. It's okay, we got kerosene. It's wet. What? How does this happen? How does a water slide explode? I haven't seen this much fire come out of a pipe since the last time I ate Taco Bell. Whew, it still burns when I sit. A few days ago it was announced that Jake Paul will be fighting Mike Tyson. Yes, the YouTube prankster turned MMA fighter will be fighting one of the greatest boxers of all time. Mike Tyson released a video of him training for the fight, and if I was Jake Paul, I would be absolutely terrified right now. Look at the way that guy moves! He does not move like a 57-year-old man. I don't know what Jake Paul thought would come of this fight, because there's really only two options. One, he wins and beats up a 57-year-old man. Or two, which I actually think is going to be way more likely, he loses and got beat up by a 57-year-old man. I don't see how this is going to help his reputation at all, win or lose. But granted, some of the stuff the Paul brothers have done, I don't think they care too much about their reputations. In a marketing move that seems really out of left field, McDonald's is becoming WickDonald's and creating manga and anime about a fictional restaurant called WickDonald's, which is obviously heavily inspired by McDonald's and the McDonald's characters. Right now you can go get a 10-piece Wick Nugget meal with Wick Nugget sauce. All of the McDonald's paper goods are now branded as WickDonald's products. There's even pages of manga on the bag, and I think that this looks really cool. If you scan the QR code, it takes you to a website where you can see like character bios of all the different characters they've created for this story. There's manga, there's anime. It's really cool. And the McDonald's sauce is actually really good. It's kind of sweet and tangy, spicy with the molasses notes. I think it might be Szechuan sauce that's just marketed under a different name, which is odd because McDonald's has already done two other promotions with Szechuan sauce. The one in the 90s for the movie Mulan, and of course the infamous Rick and Morty promotion. Now, obviously people love the Szechuan sauce that McDonald's makes, but I think they did this whole promotion just to bring back the Szechuan sauce and not have to deal with Rick and Morty fans. Because, let's be honest, no one wants to deal with Rick and Morty fans. They're a blight in the geek world. And now, a word from our sponsors. Hi! Once again, we don't have an official sponsor for this episode because, again, like 30 views on all of our podcast episodes, but I'm going to keep trucking along regardless because this is fun for me. Anyway, I'll take this opportunity to once again talk about my fan club / merch line, GFGS, which stands for God's First, Geek Second, a Christian geek apparel line and fan club. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, hanging out with other Christian geeks or just sporting some awesome Christian geeky gear, head on to godsfirstgeeksecond.com and check out what we got to offer. Our fan club starts at $5 a month, and then $10 a month, you get a free gift every month. So without further ado, let's get back to the show. The showrunner for Netflix's live-action Avatar series, Albert Kim, has stated that he wants to take the show in some different directions as the original animated series. He even alluded to the fact that he might want to explore Zutara! Every week I'm talking about something from this show that's driving me nuts, and this is no different. Zutara? Really? Why can't you just have Aang and Katara work? Why? Normally, I wouldn't care about the relationships between teenagers, but Katara and Aang ending up together is important to Legend of Korra. And honestly, I would love to see Legend of Korra turned into a live-action series as well, not just Avatar: The Last Airbender. But if you don't have Aang and Katara end up together, how are you going to have all the new airbenders that are the children of Aang and Katara, as well as the waterbender daughter of Aang and Katara? How are those sibling dynamics, which are really important to Legend of Korra, going to work if Aang doesn't end up with Katara and Zutara? You already have someone who's a perfect match for Zuko. You already have Aang and Katara who are a perfect match for each other. Okay, can we just... Why? Why are you messing with things that are core? I liked the way that the Avatar: The Last Airbender live-action series opened with showing a spy from the Earth Kingdom running through the Fire Nation. It was fresh. It was a new scene. We'd never seen that before. It was cool. But it didn't change anything core to the characters, the lore, or the storyline. Why do you feel the need to change things that don't need changing? Yeah, that's it. Unless some crazy bombshell gets dropped this week, I promise, I'm not going to rant about the Avatar: The Last Airbender live-action series anymore. But seriously, this creative team is awful. They don't understand the show and its very basic roots. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Team Avatar's new animated series, which supposedly will be following the Avatar after Korra, and will be an Earthbender because that's the next step in the cycle. Let's hope that they can make something worth watching, because I need some new Avatar content that's actually enjoyable. It's been announced that they are remaking the movie The Crow with Bill Skarsgård as the lead. Now, I am a huge fan of the original from the 90s with Brandon Lee, and so I'm going to choose to be hopefully optimistic about this reimagining of the character and story. In fact, they have some set photos released. Let's take a look at those. I'm sure they can't be that bad. Why? What is this? He looks like the Jared Leto Joker from Suicide Squad. Why the full body tattoos? Why do we think that is tough and scary? Why do we take pasty, skinny white dudes and just put them in full body tattoos and say that's gonna make them creepy and scary and weird? Look at the original design. Look at the original design for Brandon Lee's The Crow. Simple. Intimidating. Impactful. Amazing. Now look at this. Oh gosh, it's awful. It's just, oh my god. Why does he have handsome Squidward tattooed on his nipple? Whose idea was that? They should never get to touch a movie camera again. They should never get to watch a movie again. They should be locked in a dark room with nothing but the Twilight books. That just... Brandon, I'm so sorry. You were taken from us so soon and your memory gets continuously tarnished. Why? The lead animator for the hit Australian talking dog children's show Bluey has been fired for simply adding a chair to the background of Chilean Bandit's room. I don't understand why he was fired. All he did was make a small change to the background of one room of the Bluey household, and what? It's a what chair? I've never heard of that. Let me look that up. Huh! In a children's TV show! What is wrong? Shame on you, sir! Shame on you! Holy cow! And you thought no one would notice? Do you not understand that millennial parents are watching this show with their kids? They're gonna notice. At the very least, they're gonna make jokes about it if it isn't intended to be that. Brain stopping function. Ew! Ew. The state of pop culture right now is a mess. Oh my gosh, could you just... Anything cheery, anything that you can help me just get my mind off this and then laugh about... Oh, you got something? Let's see. Zack Snyder stated that more people saw Rebel Moon than Barbie. That's great. That cheered me up. Yeah, Rebel Moon got more views than Barbie, the most popular movie from last year. Show of hands, how many people even knew Rebel Moon was a thing? Yeah, maybe like 40% of people watching this. Dude, okay, Rebel Moon was good. It wasn't great, it wasn't innovative, but it was fun. And I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon Part 2. But to say that your little Netflix film, your little vanity project, was more successful than Barbie, one of the biggest movies in history, you're crazy, okay? It's just... I needed that. That was good. Thank you. As I mentioned in the beginning, I don't have a musical guest or a special guest for this episode. Just, life being crazy. But I do want to end on a more serious note. Earlier this week, famed anime legend Akira Toriyama passed away, known mostly for his work on the Dragon Ball series. And for a lot of us anime fans, Dragon Ball was one of the first, if not the first anime we ever watched. Honestly, his impact on the world of anime, cartoons, and even action movies has been immeasurable. And he will be greatly missed. He was an extremely talented writer and artist, and his loss will be felt for many years. And I just... You know what? No. No, I don't accept it. One down, 6 to go. Bringing you home, Akira.